Hey guys, welcome back to the Farmers Footy channel. Today, I just want to do a quick match reaction to the Bayern vs Chelsea game that happened. I know a lot of you guys probably tuned into this match, probably the biggest game of the night. Yeah, I just want to give my thoughts because as a Bayern fan, I think we played fairly well this game. We definitely weren't at our best. I think there were definitely moments in the game that we let Chelsea get sort of a few chances that we shouldn't have. But I mean, I'm just glad we got this win because it's always nice beating an English club. Whenever these Premier League fans come in talking about Bayern's only good because they play in a Farmers League or whatever they call it. Well, how's it feel to get farmed, huh? How does it feel to get farmed? Anyways, yeah, I'm very happy with the win. Few key talking points. Kane again showing why he's been one of the best players in the world this season. It's him, Haaland, and Mbappe. Realistically, like these are the three best players in the world this season. Um, Olise having an insanely good game. I'm so glad to see Kukurea get cooked all game and get booed because of his handball as well in the Euros. I love that. But yeah, Olise had a wonderful game. He creates that first goal, which would have been an assist for him if it hadn't ended up as a Chalobah own goal. But great move there, gets the goal, and then Caicedo conceded a penalty. I know he did concede a penalty, but I think Caicedo was definitely one of the more positive players for Chelsea today. I think he played a fairly good game, and even the goal, the Palmer goal, comes from Caicedo. Winning the ball, shrugging off the press, and then playing the pass through. Shout out to who else? I guess Upamecano again, wonderful game. Hopefully, people see that he is a top three center back in the world and has been over last season and the season so far. Wonderful game from him. Really good ball playing, and I saw a lot of fans on Twitter who had maybe haven't watched Upamecano as much, saying how good his ball playing is, as well as his defending as well. Even though he didn't get a chance to really showcase that this game. Um, Kimmich playing well again. I wouldn't say it's his best game, but he played pretty solid, decent. Pavlovic, decent. I'd say he did a good job of like marking players out in the midfield. Ta, he did have to get hooked at halftime. And okay, I want to talk about this apparent red card situation. If you look at the replay, João Pedro is tugging him, and yes, Ta is also tugging back, and yes, he shrugs him off and runs away. But that's all there is to it. I don't know why people think there's a red card, as if they saw like a better angle. We saw what we saw in the replay, and from the replay, you can see João Pedro's pulling at his shirt, Taz pulling at his shirt. This is what happens. He maybe pushes him off the ball, and that's a yellow card worthy offense, which is exactly what he got. And the ref played advantage, and because of that advantage, Chelsea scored. So I don't know what the complaint's about. I don't see how that's a red card. I don't even think that's biased. I don't think most people would call that a red card. If anything, you could even say like it was a João Pedro foul on Ta as much as it was a Ta foul on João Pedro because João Pedro was also pulling his shirt. But yeah, so that was sort of the first half. Sanchez, I think, overall had a fairly good game. I think he definitely kept Chelsea in it a few times. There was that one Olise chance, which he saved. There was a couple of Kane chances. I think a Luis Diaz shot as well. So I think Sanchez did a fairly good job. Shout out to Limer. I think. I mean, we know what we get with Limer. It's not like he's the best fullback in the world or anything, but I think he did a solid job at keeping Pedro Neto quiet. And when he switched over to left back, he did a pretty decent job, I'd say, dealing with Cole Palmer and Malo Gusto when they did come. So yeah, shout out Limer. Does his job no matter where you put him. Doesn't complain, and I love him as a trooper for Bayern. Harry Kane, I don't even know what to say about him. Today was a complete striker performance. If you want to teach a striker, you know, how to do all parts of the game correctly, you watch Kane today. The dropping deep to linking up play, moving the play, up the pitch. He's like dropping into midfield, making a pass out wide, receiving it again, passing it back out wide. Like Kane was wonderful today. A complete striker performance. Holding up the ball, great finishing. off that chance that he gets from Malo Gusto passing the ball back. And yeah, I mean, it was just overall a wonderful game from Kane. Diaz, I don't think had a great game. Not today. I don't think he was involved enough. Nabri had a few nice chances, I'd say. But yeah, I think he had a fairly decent game. I wouldn't say it was anything amazing. So yeah, I don't think we played our best game possible. Chelsea did obviously score that one goal. They had that one chance that Enzo Fernandez got earlier in the game as well, which was unfortunate. We conceded that, but I mean, luckily, Limer once again last ditch tackle gets it out of there. So yeah, I think with Chelsea today, I think we were really able to see the players that are up to par for the Champions League. I think João Pedro had a decent game. I think Palmer had a decent game, and I think Robert Sanchez had a decent game. I'm not saying the rest of these guys aren't good enough, but like for example Caicedo, I think he has a very low rating on here because of the penalty he conceded. But I think overall he had a pretty solid game. But yeah, I mean, Reece James in midfield, I don't think was great. We saw that when Andre Santos came on, how well he played. I think he's ready to start in this team. Who else came on? Oh yeah, I want to shout out to Kim, who when once Kim came on, he played a solid game, and I know he's been responsible for some of our recent downfalls in the UCL. Against Madrid, against Inter, but shout out to him. He played a great game when he came on, and yeah, Ta had to be subbed off with that yellow card, and I think things were getting heated with him. So good decision by company there. Sasha Bowie, honestly, not a big fan of him, but he did play fairly well when he came on. I think he did go up defensively as well as going forward. So yeah, shout out to him. Goretzka, I think he did the job, nothing special, but yeah, did enough to help us see out this win. Yeah, I guess that was sort of the main talking points. Um, the biggest shout out, actually, I guess I forgot to mention, goes out to company. I think he executed this very, very well. We did play a very high press, which I know we always do, but sometimes when you're playing a team of the caliber of a Chelsea, these are the world champions after all. You can see the shortcomings of that very high man-to-man press, which we sort of saw with the Palmer goal. Our center backs are so deep into their half, and we're rushing back. Whoever's back there is like filling in as center back, as left back, as right back. But I think overall, yeah, great pressing. And when you think about it, like we had this front four pressing really, really well, and none of them I think are like pressing demons. Like, besides maybe Luis Diaz, Olise does a good job at pressing, but Kane and Nabi are not exactly pressing demons by any chance. But yeah, I think that was really well executed by company. We limited their chances. You can see here they had one big chance that whole game, which I think that was that probably I assume it's the Enzo Fernandez chance. That is the big chance they had. Actually, that didn't even end up being. Oh yeah, right here. So yeah, I guess that was probably the only big chance they had this game. So um, yeah, we restricted them well. We created a lot of chances. Uh, it says we only had three big chances, but I'd say we did fairly well and actually created a little bit more than that. Kane probably could have had a hat trick today. Olise probably deserved a goal and maybe 2-3 assists with the passes he made. The one pass into Limer where Limer whiffed it wide. Another pass into Kane here which he didn't quite get a shot off on. So yeah, Olise deserved probably a goal and like 2-3 assists if everything went his way. But yeah, happy to have gotten that win. Always sweeter beating English clubs who think they're high and mighty and superior and better than everyone that plays in any other league. So yeah, I mean we'll keep doing us, keep farming these English teams because that's what we are, right? We're farmers. So yeah. Anyways, great game. Please like, subscribe, yeah, share this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. Maybe reviewing the Barca Newcastle game or the City Napoli game if I feel like it. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.